that's what I do with the water. It just sits on here. This is thermostatically controlled. On today's video, I'm going to winterize my hutch. I'm going to show you guys how I do it for our cold Wisconsin winters. So stay tuned. Some of the things you need is a razor knife to cut the plastic, a staple gun, and some plastic paint drop cloth, or some old feed bags. Pretty simple process here. Just gonna take the paint drop cloth. I'm gonna use this on the front because I like to see the birds in there and everything. So this is probably, yeah, it's more than enough. I'll actually probably cut it down, but I just kind of roughly take a measurement where I need it. And one thing I'm going to note while we're doing this, when you put this drop cloth, we're not covering the entire front of this at all. We're going to leave a like 1.5 to 2 inch gap at the top here. We are covering the top wire with plastic as well. Not doing anything with the bottom. This left side here is completely sealed at the bottom. It has a sandbox in it, so that is entirely covered in sandbox area. But you know, like I said, we're just gonna rubber. We're gonna guesstimate where we need the plastic, and I'm gonna trim this plastic. A pair of scissors would work well too, but all I had was the razor blade. All I'm gonna do is start in the corner here. This is clearly way too long. I'm just gonna start a corner, kind of mark it to where I need it, and then trim it, and then go from there. So there you go, I got this piece on. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one on, and then I'll be back and I'll show you how I do the feed bags, because I'm gonna put a feed bag one on the side. All right, so in the feed bag, we just have our feed bag here. I cut the bottom off and then just cut down the side, and give you a nice big area. Make it pretty and put the words on the outside. I just go ahead and cover it up here. Figure out how big I need it. So I can just cut this in half again, and it'll be enough. All right, so we got that on the side now. That's gonna be good for wind protection from that way. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is open up another feed bag and put one over the top. As far as the top goes, I'm not gonna cover all of that either. So, I mean, there's gonna be some wind movement a little bit. What I normally do is I don't cut it short in the back. I just let, if the wind blows up in there or up through here, is that it just kind of blows up a little bit. I only staple towards the front. half a feed bag is good enough. I do have a light up here too, it's a solar light. I do have electricity here right next to the hutch. So that's how I keep the water from freezing in the winter. I'm gonna go grab that here in a minute and we'll install that too. But I do have a solar light that just runs off the solar panel here. I don't have it mounted up there, which I really should, or just mount it to the fence. It's got a long enough cable. I went ahead and I tested 3 different lights, and I found this one to be the best. It can be set to turn on for 3 hours or 5 hours, so you can just extend the daylight. We seem to get enough daylight that keeps them going most of the winter for us for eggs. So that's primarily what this is used for, is for our family to eat eggs in the morning for breakfast. Our other eggs are inside, so I'll go ahead and I'll link Amazon link for this light, so you can go ahead and grab one if you need to get some solar lights to keep your quail laying through the winter. But that also reminds me, if you like this shirt, you can go whiskeytangofarms.net. I'll include a link for this shirt as well. We sell this on our website. Went and grabbed my old heater here. You can pick these up at your local farm store or Tractor Supply or something. I'll have a link too for this on Amazon if you can't find it locally. Depending on where you get it, they can be kind of pricey, but this just goes in here and I set in the back of the cage here. Already got a hole in the back up over here to put it in. So that's what I do with my water. So that's what I do with the water. It just sits on here. This is thermostatically controlled, so it only turns on when it gets cold out, below freezing. I believe right around 34 degrees actually. 36 or 34 degrees, something right above freezing. And it does a good job of keeping this bottom here nice and melted, even with our below 0 days. I have had it where ice will freeze up top here, obviously, but it does a good job down here. But that's what I do. That's pretty much how I winterize my hutch for the winter, and we continue to get eggs throughout the winter too. Like I said, with that light, we have that heated water base. One tip I can give you, if you don't have a heated water base like that, just they sell like rubber 2-quart bowls, or just old like butter tubs or something like that. And as long as you give them water twice a day inside of that, and they'll drink what they need, they'll generally do okay once it freezes and everything. But if you go that route, just make sure you're doing it at least twice a day, if not 3 times if you can. But like once in the morning, once at night is just fine. Another suggestion too is, I know if you have room in there, is to place, they make little 2-gallon electric chicken buckets, and I'll have a link for those too. Chris from Slightly Redneck uses those. He used those last winter, and he said they worked really good for him down there. I'm not entirely sure how well they would work up here in the hutch, but I'm sure they probably would. But those have little chicken nipples on the side, and they peck at them. These guys I know aren't trained for drinking out of a chicken nipple, but I mean they probably could just switch over and see how it goes. They'll figure out water eventually. But yeah, I'll have a link for that as well, for that type of solution too. But those only work if you have electricity out by your hutch. So if you don't have electricity out there, you're gonna have to do the bucket or water cup system. But if you guys found any of this helpful today, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell for future videos. We have more coming out. We've been gone for a little while, but thanks for watching.